welcome. We have survived Super Bowl Sunday in Minneapolis here.
Sunday.
I'm sorry that we didn't record on Super Bowl Sunday.
Sunday.
Like last year, but unfortunately it was in our city and we were too busy attempting to flee for our lives from the hundreds of football boys who just descended upon us. It was just senseless.
Boys,
no
dudes,
end.
men. Guys.
No end of
Fools.
footballs raining from the sky.
Balls.
Raise your
guys,
hand if you got trapped inside a football.
We're all raising our hands.
We all got trapped in the same giant football that was rolling down Nicolette Mall.
Oh my God.
I had to personally fight off 4 football boys as they were trying to steal my sandwich.
It was just like James and the Giant Peach, but the peach was a football.
It was exactly like that. And then when the referee came out and he used his ultimate attack and it just obliterated our city, you know?
Yeah.
It took us a little bit of time to come back, but, you know, it's been a week and most
I
of the
miss
rubble.
Minneapolis.
Me too.
Yeah, we
It was
used to
great.
have a beautiful skyline.
Now we just have rubble.
Now we just have a football-shaped hole in our state. I guess let's escape from our woes by playing some D&D.
D&D.
Balls.
Sunday.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm your DM.
Hello, it's me, Noelle, and I play Fran, whose name I didn't just forget.
Hello, my name is Caitlin and I play Corbin.
Hi, I'm Sophia and I play Laika.
Welcome, everybody. All right, so last time we ended the episode with you guys rallying the Estrans to pray for the goddess, to get her all charged up, to charge her godly batteries, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are. And so you guys are in this prayer with your heads bowed with the rest of the Estrans. And Laika, you feel something first. And it's that connection to Gingy. And you feel that lovely little warmth in your heart that you feel whenever Gingy's close, getting warmer and warmer and warmer. And then the gates of the courtyard of the guard barracks burst open, and in comes Gingy, charging through the crowd of Estrans, with Maeri on her back. Maeri's golden cloak billows behind her as she charges at full speed, eyes bright golden, and slides to a halt in front of you with Zayrun loping after her. And as Gingy slides to a halt in a cloud of dust, Maeri's eyes look around at the gathered people, and then the gold shrinks back into her irises and is replaced by tears. And she puts her hands up to her face as she realizes she's suddenly surrounded by her people again.
Hi.
So I guess we're no longer keeping that secret.
How do the Estrans react to this?
Yeah. It is very quiet for a full 60 seconds. And then everyone starts talking at once. They're all starting to shout, "My goddess, oh, you're alive. You're alive." And people just begin to rush her.
I rush her before they have a chance. And I'm like, hey, back off, hands off, nothing to see here, folks.
5 feet. 5 feet of distance. One at a time. Line up.
Zayrun is also doing his part to kind of create a perimeter around her. And Maeri is still in her pajamas with her cloak on. And she looks very panicked.
Out of the corner of my mouth, I'm like, Maeri, what gives? What the fuck are you doing?
Maeri just shrugs.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan typical of us.
Okay, what should we fucking do?
Is there anyone who's like taking a lead in the crowd? Like, what about that elven woman and Buddy? Do they
Aaliyah?
have? Yeah, does Aaliyah have a reaction?
Aaliyah is kind of at the front of the crowd, and she looks as shocked as everybody else. But she's starting to try and get people to back off and to give the goddess some room. She shouts over the crowd, "Please, please, be calm, be calm. Our goddess has returned to us. Give her a moment." And Buddy, meanwhile, is just charging through the crowd, knocking people over. He's leading, shoulder first, just sort of plowing through people.
He's coming to rush most of all.
He plows through the crowd. He picks Maeri up off of Gingy, and he just carries her out of the courtyard.
Bye. Are we going into we're at the police or the guard barracks, right?
Yeah, he carries her out of the courtyard and sort of towards the main guard building.
I guess we're following him.
Yeah.
Be right back. And then we leave the Estrins.
Okay.
I throw up a peace sign.
Yeah.
Yep. As you leave, you hear a familiar voice saying, "We've written songs about you," and you turn and you see Pete from Whence They Came. And one of his bandmates, Andy, hurls them. So Buddy has, by the time you catch up with Buddy, he has sat Maeri down in a chair in a little private room that he's just sort of forced his way into past a bunch of these guards who, just to remind you guys, he is a half-orc among humans who have never really interacted with any type of orcs or half-orcs before. So they're terrified of him. They just sort of leap out of the way as he comes towards them. And so he has sequestered her in a room, and he goes, "My goddess, can I get you, well, I think we're out of water, so, something else to drink, I guess?"
Corbin says, "She'll have tea," and he begins to make his tea.
Where do you get the water?
Fran's hair. And Laika's. I take one of Laika's hair, and I put it in the tea with some dirt.
It's gonna taste great.
Yeah.
Fran sneakily gives the goddess some regular water that she produces.
Yeah, Maeri takes that gratefully. She takes a sip and then sets it down, and she signs to you guys, I didn't realize what was happening. I just felt a great pull toward this place, and I didn't think, or I didn't... Oh no, now I have to talk to them.
You do not have to talk to them. You're a celebrity.
Fran, you should explain exactly what happened. Why did Estrins praying for Maeri suddenly wake her up?
So, I will explain kind of our deal with that. Dawson told us if we prayed for Maeri, she would get recharged. Mm-hmm. And that is a common feature among demigods to get drained out. And also that we had to use her actual name.
The goddess Maeri nods along with all of this and then signs, "I still think I should say something to them." She just sort of throws her hands up, which is her way of making that noise, and then puts her head in her hands and rests her elbows on her knees.
We do have kind of a crisis we would love your help with. So maybe that could buy you some time to think of exactly what you want to say to Estrins while we, figure out how to get water back to Danmar.
Yeah, some shit happened while you were napping, and I tell her what happened.
She just throws her hands up again, but does not put her head up. Buddy clears his throat. He says, so, is anyone gonna tell me what's going on here? And he sort of points at the goddess.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
She's just been with us the whole time, and we kept it a secret from you. We didn't know if you were maybe a shapeshifter, but it's too late now.
Yep.
Is that you, Vioni?
Vioni, is that you?
No, that's my dad, you guys.
Hey, Vioni, what kind of shapes have you shifted into lately? I hold up a hand to high five Corbin.
Corbin doesn't.
Fran puts down her hand.
Ooh, ow.
Listen. Laika stops talking.
Buddy, I'll just let you in on our little secret. We, and I gesture to like the four of our party, kind of have our own thing going on now. We've been off of Esther for a long time, so we make the rules now, buddy.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do. You're the guardians now. I was just, hey, kid. And he turns towards you like, I said, here's a tip. If ever there's a big crowd like that who's trying to rush her, just scoop her up. That's what I've always found to be the best solution there. Just pick her up.
And how did the previous goddess react to that? And I stare at him intensely.
I mean, it didn't happen. It happened one time, and it was my job to just pick her up.
What did she think about it? What did she say?
Everyone likes to be picked up now.
Be quiet, I'm trying to get information.
Corbin tries to pick Laika up.
Corbin!
Laika looks just elated because nobody ever tries to do that to her.
Corbin, please make a strength roll.
Yep. 12.
You are able to lift Laika a scant 2 inches off the ground.
It feels amazing.
Corbin collapses.
Laika's then going to try and pick up Corbin.
Do you even have to roll?
No, Laika, you don't have to roll to pick up
All right.
Corbin. He is light as a bird.
I am bench pressing Corbin.
That's what Corbin says every time he's lifted into the air.
Corbin, are you into this? Are you posing while
Yes,
Laika bench
I'm
presses
striking
you?
power poses every time I'm lifted up.
And
I'm
we're making
fine.
direct eye contact with Buddy.
Yes.
He gives you a big thumbs up.
As you can tell, we're very powerful. Please answer my question.
I mean, she was fine with it. She understood what was happening and that I could run faster than she could.
What kind of person do you think she was?
These are a lot of questions kind of coming out of left field here. You know the goddess. She's sitting right there.
But I want to know about what she was like in her past lives.
But she doesn't... And Maeri waves her hands and puts her head up and looks at Buddy and says, I'm not her.
You don't keep any secrets from Buddy anymore, I see.
He's really trustworthy.
Ugh.
And Maeri gets up and she goes over to Buddy and takes his giant green hands in hers and squeezes them once and then drops them so she can sign. And she tells him, I was never her. They told me not to tell anyone, Cecilia and Cordelia, and they were working for Torva.
They were Torva.
One of them was Torva. And
Alonia was also Torva, Buddy.
what? That's important, but we'll go over it later.
Vioni was involved too, but she's actually okay.
Yeah, she's cool. She's like my mom.
She's like Corbin's mom, kind of like you're my dad.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay. That's none of that's important at the moment.
Torva's my mom.
Fran!
Anyway, I was never her, and I tricked everybody for so long. I'm sorry. We're trying to find a way to make it right.
Oh man, is that what we're trying to do?
I'm just trying to stay alive.
I'm just trying to be calm.
We're trying to do all those things too. Sorry, Buddy. And Buddy takes a step back. And he looks around at the three of you and then down at the girl he thought until just a few moments ago was his goddess that he spent his whole life serving. And then he nods. And he nods again. He says, all right, cool.
Do you need a minute?
I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna take a lap. I'll be right back.
Laika's gonna follow him because she doesn't want him to tell anybody else, and she also wants to calm him down.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. He's just walking. He goes, kid, I just need a minute here. I'm fine. That's a lot to process.
I'm just gonna follow behind and just rub your back. Calm me down.
Okay. Well, that is very calming. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Well, if she's not a goddess, who is she?
She's something new. She's the goddess's daughter, and, well, we don't know exactly who her dad is, but it might be Torva. That being said, she's really good. She's wonderful, and from what I can tell, I think she's better than the previous goddess, though I am a little biased. But
he as you start to say that, he immediately begins to try and say something before you continue.
You have to get to know her. They all have to get to know her. She's scared right now. She's scared of what they're gonna think. And that's why I think it's good that we told you, because this can't be a secret forever. You're gonna have to find a way to let the other Estrans know.
Oh, buddy, you're really in it now. Hey, he goes to lean on the wall next to him, not noticing that there is a guard who's also there, much shorter than him. And the guard just ducks out of the way and more or less flees as he leans his enormous weight on this wall. I mean, I won't tell anyone, kid. I'll keep your secret for now, but I don't think I can be the one who tells them. I think it's gotta come from her.
Well, if you have any tips, like a coach for how to make that speech go smoothly.
Listen, kid, I'm your coach, and my coach instincts are telling me to let you know that once she makes that speech, pick her up, carry her away.
Well, we'll see. Just give her time, okay? She's already proved herself to us. She's a good one.
It's a ringing endorsement, kid. I'll keep this to myself for now, and give her a shot.
All right, now Laika's gonna try and flip him over.
Okay.
That's an 18.
Oh, he rolled a 5, so you win. You flip him.
Laika throws her arms up and then is like, okay, I'm gonna go back now.
Good job, kid. Good job. He gives you a thumbs up, but he stays on the floor.
Laika just gives him a cool nod and walks back to check in with her buds.
What have Corbin and Fran been up to with Maeri?
Staring contest.
Yeah. Corbin's drinking his tea while he stares. It's revitalizing him.
It's giving him a market advantage.
Yeah.
Maeri is politely holding her cup of tea.
Holding.
She occasionally brings it to her lips.
Does she sip?
You are pretty sure she took a sip.
Okay. All right, I'm emboldened, and I stare all the harder at Fran.
All right, well, Laika, that's what you come into.
So, everything's good. Buddy's chill about it. He thinks this is great, and he loves you all very much, and let's go.
Where are we going? The goddess signs.
We I think need to take a rest, but so I want to talk to the king before we take a rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's up in Sabia's office.
Okay, so you guys can come with if you want.
Oh, Corbin definitely wants to come with.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I knock on the door where he is.
Enter.
Cool. Okay. I go in and I'm like, wow, like my friend the king.
So the king is there. Sabia's in there as well. And the king says, it's good that you've come. Sabia has some grave news.
What? More?
Unfortunately, yes. It seems that our water reserves are much lower than we thought they would be. There's been deliberate cracks made in the basins. We should have had water to last for weeks, if not months, but as things are, we'd be lucky to last a week. We've patched these breaches, but I'm afraid your mission is more urgent than ever.
All right, well, we can probably stretch that out a bit. We have a number of people who can create water using magic. We can maybe send them down to the reserves to help out. In the meantime, we believe that ultimately Torva is behind this. And if he is, then we need to know if there's a god we can call on to help us. Last time we came up against Torva, we had a god on our side, and even that wasn't enough.
Rove, we must send a delegation to the Temple of Rove to pray for her assistance, the king says. And if you're right, and Torva is involved, then he turns and looks out the window. We'll need to send scouts out afield to see how close his army is.
Yikes. All right, well, I think that sounds like a good plan. Is there anything that you need us to do before we get ready to go on this mission?
I need only for you to be prepared for the dangers that we'll face. The canyon itself is crawling with some nasty things, I won't lie to you.
Are you planning on coming with us?
Of course. It's my castle.
Huh.
Yeah.
Corbin laughed at you.
No.
Are you sure that's a good idea? I mean, shouldn't you stay here to make sure nobody freaks out about the whole lack of water in a desert situation?
I agree, my king. Sabia jumps in here. You should stay behind and lead our people. And the king holds up a hand. He says, nonsense. I may not be as spry as I used to be, but I'm a fierce fighter, and I have the blessing of Rove on my side. I will fight for my castle and bring water back to my people.
Yeah!
All the more reason to stay with them while we try and figure this out.
I agree with this young woman. Sabia says, you should stay behind.
No, you should come with.
Corbin!
What?
You got such a crush on this guy.
What?
I will be going with them. That is final. And Sabia holds up her hands, and she gives you Laika, she gives you a look and shakes her head.
Laika just looks at her with just a hope in her eyes that there's at least one more reasonable person in the room. And she's like, how am I that person? How are we?
So we need maps of where we're going to go in case we get separated from you. We need to know if we should go at night or during the day.
I need a blanket and some pillows for a nap.
Well, blankets and pillows. What is our supply of blankets and pillows looking like, Sabia? And she shakes her head. I'm afraid they're currently all in use by the refugees that are camped in our square.
God, Corbin.
Corbin falls to his knee.
But you do still have rooms at the Thirsty Slavier. The guard is still paying for those, so you will have a place to rest your head, be assured. And I will have a map of the area that we will be traversing delivered to your room.
Daytime or nighttime?
Well, I suppose that's a good question. We may catch the intruders more unawares during the night, unless they are expecting us to come at night because they believe we are not. They would believe that we are going to come in the night because they think we wouldn't be expecting them
Let's go at night because it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the night then.
Cool.
Shall we go this evening?
Yep, we just gotta go meditate, hang out for a while.
8 hours.
Take the time you need to rest. I will meet you at your rooms.
All right. So we go back to the Thirsty Slavier.
Yeah.
And we avoid every kind of estrin, and we do not show Maeri to them.
No.
Do you guys do any sort of disguising on her, or do you just sort of usher her out?
I put an illusion of a wall in front of her.
That's not at all obvious. No one notices you.
Good. Great. We go out. We go back to our inn.
Okay. So you guys you rest up. You take your 8 hours. Berand brings you guys some food, some grilled fish, and fresh vegetables. And he says, "Well, this might be the last fresh vegetables we have for a while, if the water's gonna be out. But, here, I got you guys a canteen. And he hands each of you a canteen full of fresh water.
Nice.
I give mine back to him. I don't need this.
Well, I mean, I guess. This might be rude for me to ask, but do you drink from your... And he points toward his hair.
I might.
Sure, okay.
Hey, wait. It's like the end times, right? You should probably, go on a date.
I don't really know if right now's the time.
It's the only time.
But, I mean...
How will she ever know how you feel if you don't tell her?
But, I mean, she's probably really busy, trying
We
to
have
keep
to
people
get
calm.
the clown.
I'm sorry, what?
Corbin, don't... Ignore him.
What does it mean?
You... I step in front of my two friends. When you're in love, there's only one thing to do, and that's act like an idiot. So get out there and act like an idiot, Berand.
Oh, okay.
And then tell us what it feels like.
Tell us all the details.
And I want to know about the clown.
I push Corbin's face away.
Okay, I'll do it. Just make sure no one rubs the inn while I'm gone. And he takes off his apron as he walks out of your guys' room.
Oh, we did it!
All right, you guys rest. What do you do during your rests?
Sleep.
I sleep.
Yeah.
Mary takes guard duty because she's just been asleep for so long.
Yeah, she's pumped right now. She is fuffed.
Full of godly energy at the
What?
moment. She's puffed?
Is that what the kids are saying these days? Fuck.
Well, since Mary's puffed, I think I'm gonna sleep too.
Okay. So you guys awake again, and it is nighttime. You awake to a knock at your door.
Oh, who's that?
Mary goes to the door and opens it up just a crack, and she sees the King of Danmar, and he's got a cloak pulled up over his crown, but you can still very clearly see the crown underneath.
Oh my god, this fool!
He's perfect.
Is he here to rob the inn? Berand trusted us.
He says, "Are you ready, young friends?"
Corbin rolls out of the bed and hits the ground.
Fran sits up in bed and she's already dressed.
Laika rolls out of bed and she's wearing her armor.
Yeah.
She's ready.
Does she land on Corbin?
Yeah, and she just rolls over him.
The slumber of youth, so deep.
It's very deep.
You don't know how old we are?
Let's see, he points at you like I would say 16 or 17.
Yes, how did you know?
And, you young man, clock you at 16.
I'm 36.
The king says, and you are, let me see, 16 as well? And the goddess gives a little shrug. And I'm sorry, but miss, I will have to say I cannot even guess how old you are. I'm afraid I've never met anyone like you.
I'm an ageless deity.
She's 3.
What are you, 60?
Let's not talk about it. Come! We have a castle to take back.
Fran!
All right, so we get ready to go, and we get the wolves to come with us.
As you're getting Gingy set up, Zerun says, I believe I should stay behind to guard the refugees.
All right, I think that's a good idea.
I mean, he's also kind of a deity there, too, so it's, he's going to go try and keep them calm through all this. Mm-hmm. So, the king leads you out of the city through the north gate, and you guys skirt the wall. You leave the road behind and skirt the wall around until you come to the lip of the Hema Canyon, which the king tells you that this is the canyon which was carved by the river Hema. The river Shi is the one that is across from it. The king leads you to a horse lift, which has already been fitted up with a team of horses. And the horse lift is a large wooden platform which dangles into the canyon. It is held by an aperture with gears and ropes and pulleys. And there are rails on 3 sides of it, and it butts up against one wall of the canyon. Oh, before we go, the king turns back to you and says, once we go down in the canyon, we will not be able to come back up with any great ease. So, are you all prepared?
I like reach up my hands and check for my hair, and I nod with determination.
Corbin says, I'm a bird, so...
Welcome to a time when I will speak words to you, my boys and my girls and my non-binary pearls. Hey, we've had a really cool couple of weeks, partially due to our ad rolling on the Adventure Zone. So thanks so much to the McElroys for taking our money and turning it alchemy-like into podcast downloads. Very cool. Thanks. Thanks this episode to iTunes reviewers, Sabo PR14, who I'm not sure if I thanked last time, Wise Moon 49, Milk and Honey Comics, Species 0001, and also I Build Pyramids, who has just confessed to a conspiracy theory. I can't believe that you really built the pyramids and you also reviewed our iTunes podcast. That's very cool, and very thanks to all of you. On Patreon, we've got some hot, spicy gratefulness going out to my close friends Alex, Seth, Alex2, Abradolph, Ian, Micah, Jake, Stevie, Natasha, Jake2, Violet, Tim, Hassan, Jeremy, Chelsea, Henry, Jason, and Alice. If any of you deleted rather than pledged and you feel really awkward right about now, I'm so sorry, but Patreon's notifications makes it hard to tell. It all looks exactly the same. Anyway, you guys are literally changing our pathetic lives. So thank you so much. We're worthless worms. Wow. I also want to tell you all today about another Patreon you should consider supporting, and that's Cobalt Press's Warlock Patreon. Basically, Warlock is a Patreon project that enables Cobalt Press to release and publish more Midgard content on a regular, ongoing basis. Midgard is an alternate D&D and fantasy RPG setting, by the way, and everyone I know who's played through it has thought it was super cool. In return for becoming a Warlock patron, you will get first access to new Midgard maps, monsters, 5e character options, and more. To help expand this dope world of dark fantasy, check out patreon.com/cobaltpress. And next up, a word from the Venture Maidens.
Gather round, travelers, to hear our tale. What can I say about the Venture Maidens? As much as I want to just go on and on gushing about my favorite podcast, I'll try and keep it short. The players are absolutely fantastic. I think my favorite thing about the Maidens is the way they collaborate with their fan base. They've created a community for us that they're also a part of.
If you enjoy having your heartstrings pulled out of your chest whilst floundering for air and weeping silently to yourself because Celeste's descriptions of literally anything will make you wish you, too, were about to embark on an epic adventure with 3 killer ladies. Really killer. They're killed alive.
This story is epic. I have cried tears, and I am not kidding. I have so many favorite moments. Kara's hangover routine, Saya's workouts, Arnadel's awkward flirting. I just love you guys so much.
There's a lot of Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcasts out there, so why should you care about the Venture Maidens? Well, if you like games that don't shy away from heartbreak and romance, this is the podcast for you. If you're looking for a podcast where character development is just as important as slaying monsters, this is the podcast for you. And lastly, there's an episode where everyone does their best Godzilla impressions. You gotta hear it.
Join the Venture Maidens on Twitch, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are free. And don't forget to venture away.
If you haven't listened to them yet, please do. They're cool and funny, and they seem to actually know how to play Dungeons & Dragons, which is something I can only dream of. And last of all, a message to Chantel. Chantel, my dear, the code word is lung guppies, which is also seemingly a horrifying medical condition. The sleeper agent is active and might have lung guppies. Go!
So, you guys head into the horse lift, I guess. And the lift begins to lower you into the dark, dark canyon. You hear the sound of the river rushing up to meet you as you descend further and further down. The Hema Canyon is the deeper of the two canyons, and it's probably a good 200 feet down. Maybe more, it's hard to tell in the dark. But eventually you do reach the ground, and you step off of the horse lift, and immediately after you step off, the lift begins to ascend. Well, the king says, it's this way. It's a bit of a hike, so be prepared for a walk. And he sets you off toward the secret entrance to the palace. Do any of you produce a light?
So I will make a light that kind of is the same color as the moonlight.
Okay.
I take out my magnifying glass and I turn it into a little flashlight. And if anybody comes, I will cover it up.
Okay.
Laika will lead the way just because I feel like having dark vision could give her an advantage in this case.
Yeah.
Sure. And
also, Corbin, can you cast Pass Without a Trace?
I cast Pass Without Trace.
All right. So in the dim light you've produced, you can see the great frothing rapids of the river Hema next to you. And you are walking along a sandy bank, which is roughly 8 feet across. So it's wide enough for all of you to stand on it easily, but not that wide. So the king leads you down this canyon. You guys are walking for about 15 minutes. I assume you guys are being pretty quiet, pretty stealthy. Will you all please make perception checks? Everybody but Laika is at disadvantage.
13.
18.
I got 11.
And the king got a 19, and Maeri got an 8. So as you are walking, Laika, you're up front, right? You said you're leading. You feel there's sort of a weird dip in the ground, but you don't really think about it. Everybody else passes over it until Maeri is passing over it. And who's behind Maeri?
Me.
Okay. Fran, Maeri just disappears. She just is pulled down and vanishes.
Pulled down?
Yep.
All right, well, Laika's gonna go dig at that sand.
Oh, no. That's a critical hit. Oh, that's really bad. Okay. So that's gonna be 25 damage to Maeri. Yikes, that hurts. Okay. So you scrabble at the sand, Laika, and a moment after, a sharp leg comes up, and alright, a sharp leg tries to impale you, but it glances off of your steel armor. And let's roll initiative as an enormous spider crawls out of the sand.
Where is Maeri?
You don't see her.
Probably in the den.
Alright, so the king goes first. He is going to slash at it with his long sword. That does not hit. He misses. And he gets a second attack. That one hits.
Nice.
Alright, and Laika, it is your turn.
I'm gonna attack with Divine Smite.
Okay.
19.
Okay, that hits.
All right, so that's gonna be 21 damage.
That's not too shabby.
And then I'm gonna use a second attack on it. So that's 17.
That hits.
All right, 7 damage.
Okay. And now it is Corbin's turn.
So I'm going to take my spear.
Okay.
And I'm going to paint a picture inside of this spider's head.
Oh, all right.
Roll
to hit.
Roll to paint, as they say.
Nobody says
Nobody says that. Who says that?
Me just now. Well, okay. That's it's a good old 7.
That does not hit.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Fran, it is up to you.
So, one thing I want to do is just summon the spirit of Frodo and make my light really bright. And, like, while I'm doing that, I'm going to take out the compass.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, we know the name of Mary's cloak, right?
It's called the God Shroud.
God Shroud. God Shroud.
Okay. You shout that, and it points directly in front of you. It points toward the spider.
What if I turn the compass on its side?
It's still pointing toward the spider.
Did that spider eat Maeri?
It's not that big.
What then?
Did the spider become Maeri?
Are
Did
we
Maeri
killing
become the
Maeri? It's in the direction of the spider. It is pointing in the direction of the spider.
Cat.
Cat. I need you to just tell me something.
Is Maeri the spider?
Cat, tell us if Maeri is the spider.
Cat, if we kill the spider, are we killing Maeri?
If you die in the game, do you die in real life, Cat?
Yes, that one I can say yes to.
Also, does the spider react to my light?
Not really. It kind of flinches back a little bit, but more like, when somebody turns on the lights in a dark room.
How many eyes does it have?
8. It's a spider.
Too many.
Then I yell, It ate Maeri. Just be careful. Whose turn is it now?
It is the spider's turn. And so who's attacked it? You and the king and Corbin?
I tried.
You tried. You failed. It's going to go for you. Oh, no. That is going to be a 20. Does that hit you?
Yeah.
Not natural. All right.
Oh, that changes everything.
And the next one is an 18. Does that hit you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I use a reaction to try to bite it? If it comes close to me.
Yeah, go ahead. Bite it.
What am I rolling?
Roll to attack.
16.
Yeah, that hits. Roll a d4. That's what your biting attack is as a human.
I need 5.
As Fran sees this, she screams out, I said careful!
So, Corbin, you bite down on this thing's pincer as it attacks you, but that does not stop the attack. It just rips right out of your weak human teeth.
Yeah.
And it is going to do...
But I do 5 damage to it.
You sure do, with your human teeth. All right, so that is going to be 24 damage. So, Corbin, it lashes you with one sharp, impaling leg, and then another one comes down right after it. And that follows that one up with a 14. Does that hit?
No!
All right. It
does not.
It misses you with its venomous bite. And now it is Mary's turn. Oh, yes. Okay, hold on.
What is going on?
Doing in there?
All right, Mary, you see one dark hand claw out of the sand and then another as Mary breaks free from the sand spider's trap. She was buried in the sand directly behind the spider.
I knew she wasn't eaten by the spider.
All right, so Mary spends her turn getting out of that trap, and we are back up to the King of Danmar, and he is gonna go for it again with his big ol' sword, and that hits, and that's a critical failure, so he hits once. And that is gonna be 10 damage. So he arcs down once with his sword and slashes the thing across the face, and then he trips, and he wangs his sword into the wall of the canyon, and it gets stuck, so he'll have to deal with that next round. It is Laika's turn.
All right, I'm gonna just attack. How's this thing looking, by the way?
Not looking great. It's doing a lot of hissing. It's oozing from various wounds.
Okay, sounds cool.
Yeah, there's some bug goo oozing.
All right, so that's gonna be 25.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Yep, 12 damage. And then I'm gonna attack again.
That hits.
Okay, that will be 13 damage.
Okay, it's looking rough. Corbin, you are up.
Okay. Am I still close to it?
Mm-hmm.
I want to take. I'm gonna do regular attack again because I'm just nervous, y'all. So I'm gonna take my spear. I'm gonna.
I want to die waiting for this.
I honestly sort of tuned out. I was just gonna check back in when you next spoke.
I'm gonna take my spear, and I'm gonna feed it to him like a spoon. Right in his mouth.
I like it.
Please roll to hit.
Okay. 15.
That'll do.
Here comes the choo-choo train.
Good. Okay.
5.
Alrighty, and now Fran. Fran-a-lan-a-ling wong. That's not how that goes.
Yes.
You are summoned.
So first of all, I say, Maeri, you didn't get eaten by the spider.
She gives you a thumbs up as she is still clawing her way out of the sand.
Okay. And then I'm going to cast Witch Bolt.
Witch Bolt?
And that is going to be a 21.
That'll hit it.
All right, it's going to do 14 damage.
Okie dokie. He is not dead, but he is not looking good. Greenish sort of slime is coming out of its pincered maw. And it is going to go for Corbin again.
Bye, y'all. This is gonna kill me good.
12.
Does not hit.
12 does not hit. Okay. That one is a 20, not natural. And that one is 28. That hits.
Yeah,
I assume. Okay.
both of those do.
Okay, so you got hit by one leg and one bite. 13 damage. And 3 plus 5, so 8.
How you doing, bud? I'll heal you next round.
5 hit points.
Okay, I got you.
All right, and now Maeri, she uses her movement to get up, and since you guys are all clustered together, she is close enough that she is going to heal you, Corbin. All right, that is 14 points of health back to you, and we are top of the order with the King of Danmar. He is going to roll to attack that spider. Oh, first he has to do a strength roll to get his sword out of the cliff. Oh, he nat 20'd.
Whoa.
Got that natty 20.
He pulls it out, and as he pulls it out, it smacks the spider in the face.
It does. He pulls it out, and with a great arc of the force he was using to pull it out, he slams it into the spider's face, and it takes 13 points of damage, which kills it.
Oh.
So he rips his sword out of the wall, and with the strength that he was using, he arcs it over his head and slams it into the spider's neck, severing its head, which rolls to the sandy floor of the canyon.
Corbin is suffering from significant blood loss right now, but he is swooned as fuck, and he just falls on his back.
I'm gonna roll to catch you.
Thank you.
I did it. And as Corbin falls into my arms, I'm gonna heal him.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
I'll heal Corbin for 15,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna heal the goddess for 15 as well, using lay on hands.
All right, so she's back up to 30. She's looking a bit better. She just gives you guys 2 shaky thumbs up.
How was that trap?
Did you go into a hell dimension?
She turns those thumbs up downward.
Were there baby spiders in there?
She shakes her head and then signs, let's just move on from the spider.
Can we inspect that trap to get advantage on future rolls against those traps?
Yeah, sure.
I magnifying glass it the fuck up.
While they're doing that, is there any of the spider carcass left?
Ugh.
Yeah.
I got a 15.
Corbin wants to just take a nibble.
Can you please make a Constitution saving throw?
Aren't you damaged enough? Clearly you're too damaged.
I should not have healed you.
15.
Yeah, that does it. You don't take any poison damage.
Laika comes up to you and she's like, how does it taste?
Kat, how does it taste?
It tastes very sandy, very gritty.
Ugh, not interested.
Corbin crunches loudly.
The king looks visibly ill. Horrified, but he doesn't say anything because he's very polite.
Corbin wipes the slime off of his mouth and pretends it didn't happen.
Yeah, and I'd just like to have a quick thank you to James Intricasso for that monster. Everybody, please say thank you to James.
No.
Nah.
Thank you, James. Well, that could have been worse, the king says as he wipes spider goo off of his sword and resheathes it. Usually they hunt in packs.
Don't say
Don't
stuff
say
like
stuff
that.
like that, Your Highness.
You just invited a spider party.
You did this.
Anybody else want to come? Any
Yeah, you want to
ogres?
go? Hey, is there any
Usually dragons
evil
come
versions
along.
of the king come kill me? I had a dream like that.
Your voices, your taunts echo up the canyon walls. And Fran, by the way, with your 15 on the investigation roll, you will gain advantage on that. You can see that it was the spider had woven a web across the sand and then covered the web with sand so that it was just able to rip the webbing with its sharp, pointy leg and grab whoever was over it. All right, so you guys head on. There are no spiders that come out of the walls, even though the king said that ominous thing.
Good. Does he feel bad, though?
He just laughs it off. He's very jovial about all of this. He seems very unbothered by all of this mortal danger.
I don't know if that's charismatic or a really bad sign.
Yeah,
Corbin,
it's either.
Corbin is very enamored by this, and he thinks it's incredibly charismatic.
Did you ask the king if he has a son yet?
Spit it out.
Mr. King, do you have a child, a son?
I do, yes. My son is currently away being schooled in Madrid at the finest university.
How old is he?
Oh, he is 18. Strapping young lad. He will make a fine king one day.
Is he single? Laika's making direct eye contact with Corbin this entire time.
Corbin's like swatting at your armor.
Laika's like moving away and she's wiggling her eyebrows.
Corbin punches your armor and then he hurts his hand.
What an odd thing to ask. No, he's not. He's currently promised to one of the King of Madria's sisters.
That can change. Cool.
Promises can be broken.
Definitely.
What an ominous thing to say. Sally forth.
I guess we match, Your Highness.
All right, so you guys had for another 15 minutes in the dark without any incident, although you hear lots of scuttling. But since Fran sort of knows what to look out for now, you're able to spot the sand spider's nest before you step over it and are able to divert your trail around the nests. And eventually you come to a spot and the king points toward a triangle of boulders on the other side of the river. He says, "Behind those boulders is the door into the palace. Now the only trick is getting across."
I prepared the wrong spells today.
You didn't bring your water spell?
Nope.
Okay, so what do our surroundings look like?
You are in a very deep canyon, which has 2 sheer rock cliffs on either side of. You are on an 8-foot wide embankment of sand up against a 18-foot wide river. And then in front of the door, there is a triangle of huge boulders, each of which are about 20 feet tall and 8 feet around.
Okay. Are there any rocks on our side? Are there any like plants or trees or anything down here?
Yes, there are small plants which cling to the sides of the cliffs and close to the water. There are boulders in the river. The river is very strong, running very quickly, and there's a lot of turbulent water due to the rocks that are just underneath and protruding from the river.
Okay, so I turn to Maeri and I say, let's try to freeze part of the river. I could use your help.
Maeri looks a little unsure, but she nods, and then she holds out her hand for you to take.
Okay.
All right, you feel a bit more power. You are able to create a very thin ice bridge, which is it is starting to break almost as soon as it is cast.
Okay, let's think.
Well, why don't I give it a try? Young lady, I believe this is how it works. And he holds out his hand to her.
Oh, because he's got Rove's magic. That's cool.
Yeah.
And she takes his hand and...
Can I also get in on it? I just want to lend some power. It's fine.
No, I'm afraid she's the only one who can do that. She and he are able to strengthen that bridge. It is not by much, but there is a second layer of ice on it, and it's looking much more solid.
All right, let's do it.
That's cross?
Yeah.
All right, we're still going to all make dex saves, but you guys have a better chance of it.
All right.
16.
I got 17.
Okay. So 16, 17, not rolling.
Crow.
Okay. Laika and Fran, you guys are able to make it across just fine. The king is holding onto Maeri's hand, and the two of them are running across when the bridge cracks about halfway through. And
wait, so I'm still at the edge of the river?
You and Laika made it across?
Yeah. Can I cast Enlarge, like, on the ice bridge then?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's a great solution.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay. So you are able to enlarge that piece of ice bridge, and
Yay.
And the two of them make it across to the small platform that is hidden behind the three boulders. The king pushes a hand on the stone doors, and they swing inward, and the 5 of you step inside.
Oh.
Boom, boom.
Bom bom. What's the smell? What do we smell?
I would love to know if the look.
I'm interested in the smell only.
It smells cold. It smells dank, but it doesn't smell damp. It appears that you guys have stepped into a natural cave system. The cave you're in is roughly 10 feet tall and only as wide as the door you just came through. Ahead of you, there is a path which slopes upward.
Okay, Your Majesty, like, what now? Where's the next set of death traps?
Death traps? No, of course not. This is a...
Ha 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 ha. I've heard that before.
No, this is a very safe path. We only use it in case of emergencies.
It's about to be an emergency when the death trap.
I've used this path many times when I was a younger man. I'd like to sneak out into the city just to see it from my citizens' point of view.
How many kids do you have? Sounds like you're sneaking out.
Oh, come now. I was not so unwholesome as that. I just liked to be in the bustle of people. And as he's speaking, he starts walking down the path.
I raise my eyebrows at them and I mouth, bustle.
As a king, I'm not able to walk among my people. I'm not able to see their conditions and really know what it's like to be a citizen of my city. So, in my youth, I liked to just get a little taste of it, you know?
Taste? Your Majesty, do you have reason to believe that other people know about this entrance, like, other than you?
I wouldn't believe so. This entrance is a secret of the royal family. Only myself, my son, my wife, may she rest in peace, and a few scattered cousins know about this entrance.
Well, I hope your son isn't as good at telling secrets as he is at breaking promises.
My son is a good and noble lad. He does neither of those things.
We'll see.
All right, so you guys head through this tunnel, and it eventually empties out into a much larger cavern. Stalactites hang from the ceiling and reach toward their stony counterparts on the floor. And in the center of this room, there is a 20-foot-tall crumbling statue of a man with a square beard and a crown, which looks very similar to the king. And the king points this out and he says, "Look at that. One of my ancestors' likeness, I believe. Carved here to guard this entrance. Seen better days."
It looks just like you.
Do you think it looks likely? And he turns and he poses in front of it in a very similar stance, and he looks very dashing.
Did he carve it himself? I thought this was a family secret. Did he carve it with his wife? Did he carve it with his wife and kids?
No, I'm not really sure. It's just been down here as long as I've been using this tunnel. Come on. It's not much further now.
We follow him.
Yeah.
And Laika, you see it first as this crumbling statue's head turns toward you, and it reaches with its great stony hand, and I'm gonna have y'all roll initiative.
Okay. I freaking told you!
Takes his giant green hands in hers.
He's green?
He's an orc.
thought he was gray, but he's Shrek.
Don't fucking whisper Shrek into the microphone.
He's Shrek.
like a worshiper at the church of Shrek.
Religion.
It's her religion.
It's my religion.
Oh, I'm so mad about this. But yes, he's green. He's always been green. He's a half orc. Half orcs are green.
Yep. He's Shrek.
Somebody once told me.
Somebody.
Oh no.
Have you ever wanted to read a book, but opening your eyes makes it impossible for you to ignore the cruel truths of the world around you? Well, my friend, have I got the solution for you. You'll never have to lay eyes on your own gnarled fingers holding a book ever again. You can listen to that book using your ears on audible.com. On Audible, there are over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial of Audible at audibletrial.com/DSPN. To escape into a world of sound where you may or may not have a visible physical form. Who knows? Certainly not me. Visit audibletrial.com/DSPN.